طيب. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In today's session, inshallah, we're going to talk about how to write an IELTS essay. What does the essay consist of? What is an essay? How to write the introduction, how to write the body, how to write the conclusion, and so on. Let me at the beginning tell you that an essay is a group of paragraphs that talk about the same topic. So an essay is not one paragraph, it's a group of paragraphs, just like the one that you see in front of you now. Can you tell me how many paragraphs can you see in this essay? How many paragraphs?
One paragraph.
Huh?
Five.
Five, yes, we have 5 paragraphs. What is a paragraph?
What is it? What?
What is a paragraph? What is a paragraph?
حضرتك عايز يعني الباراجراف عبارة عن
definition, yes. What do you understand what a paragraph is?
introduction و body 1 و body 2 advantage و disadvantages و conclusion بالآخر.
A paragraph is a group of sentences like this one here. A group of sentences that talk about a certain idea. Every paragraph should have a central idea that this, or we call it main idea, that this paragraph talks about, or that this paragraph is about. If you look at this part here that I put in the box, this is an example of a paragraph. Is this one sentence or more? Is this one sentence or more?
More.
More. This is one sentence. 1, 2. Okay. And this means we have at least 3 sentences here. And if we look at the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the paragraph that I highlighted above, that I circled above, has 3 sentences. This one has 4 sentences. Okay. This is what we call a paragraph, a group of sentences that usually have one main idea. Okay. So do you understand what a paragraph is?
Yes.
All right. An essay, and this is how we write the word essay, is a group of paragraphs like the ones that you see in front of you right now. We have 5 paragraphs. Okay. So this is, for example, paragraph 1. This is paragraph 2. This is paragraph 3. This is 4. And this is 5. We have 5 paragraphs. How do we know that this is a beginning of a new paragraph or an end of a paragraph? If I'm writing one paragraph, when I finish a sentence, do I move on to the following line or do I continue on the same line? If I'm writing one paragraph, I continue, like here. Okay, there is a full stop. We didn't move on to the next line, we continued. And here it's the same, and here it's the same. But when the paragraph is over and I'd like to start a new paragraph, then I have to stop here and then move on to a new line. Usually, and this is what I want you to do, there is a space at the beginning of the paragraph. But sometimes you can write it without spaces if you make a double space between every paragraph and the other. Okay. But when you write, I really want you to leave this space, which we call indent the paragraph. Leave a space at the beginning, just 1 centimeter at the beginning, to mark the beginning of the paragraph. An essay is a group of paragraphs that talk about the same topic, but maybe every paragraph has a different idea from the other, but all together talk about the same topic. Is there a certain number of paragraphs in an essay? No. If you write 2 paragraphs about the topic, this is an essay. And if you write 7 paragraphs, this is also an essay. But in IELTS, generally, most essays consist of 4 paragraphs. Again, I'm not saying this is a rule. I'm not saying this is what you must do, but I'm telling you that this is what you will usually do. Because based on the nature of IELTS essays, you will find that the best way to divide the essay is into 4 paragraphs. An introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. In very few cases, we might write 5 paragraphs like this one here. Okay? This is just an introduction about what an essay is. Do you have any question now before I move on to the types of essays? Any question about this part? ها فاهمين يعني ايه essay؟ فاهمين يعني ايه paragraph؟ الدنيا تمام واضحة؟
Yes.
Yes, it's okay.
طيب. Already in the videos that I shared with you, there is a special focus on how to write the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. I'm going to repeat this now, but before I repeat that, of course, I'm going to repeat it in brief. I'm not going to explain it in detail. We need to talk about the question types in IELTS. If you are going to sit for an IELTS test, what type of questions you might have in writing? Let me tell you at the beginning that the writing section in IELTS has 2 tasks, 2 questions. The 2 tasks, we call them task 1 and task 2. Task 2 is writing an essay. And it is the same whether you are taking a general IELTS or academic IELTS. Okay? This is concerning the essay, task 2. And it has 2/3 of the score in your IELTS essay. The other 1/3 is on task 1. This is different between general IELTS and academic IELTS. In general IELTS, you might be asked to write a letter. It could be a formal letter or informal letter. But in academic IELTS, you will be writing a short essay, which is an analysis and description of a graph. This is in academic. Okay? Most of what we're going to focus on this course is on task 2, writing the essay, because this is in common between the general and academic, in addition to the fact that it has 2/3 of your score. So like 70% of your score is on task 2, and just like 33% is on task 1. Usually there are 5 types of questions in IELTS essays. Type number 1, and this is the most common, is the opinion essay. From its name, what is an opinion essay? What do you think you will be required to do in an opinion essay? What do you think? If I tell you you're going to write an opinion essay, what do you think you're going to write about?
Extend.
Huh?
About yes, أنا شفت الفيديو. Extend the main opinion in the questions or the main word in the questions. We extend it. Okay.
You extend it, yes, definitely. Yes. So in an opinion essay, what you're going to do is that you will actually state your opinion. You will tell what your opinion is about a certain topic, about the topic that you will have. You will decide whether you agree or you disagree with something, okay? Or you might have this question: to what extent do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree? What do you think? Do you think so and so and so? So the question itself asks you to include your own opinion about the topic. This is an opinion essay. We're going to have a sample of an opinion essay now. Ms. Sarah, can you read this question?
Yes, it's important to ensure that children with a wide range of abilities and from a variety of social background mix with each other at school. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
All right, Mr. Ahmed, hello. You've just joined, right?
Hello, Mr. Ahmed. Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm recording, and you missed a very small part in which I was explaining what is an essay and what is a paragraph and so on. Okay. The second part of our topic now is that we're talking about the IELTS essay. Essays in IELTS. We have 5 types of questions that you might find in an IELTS essay exam. The first of which is the opinion essay, which we are talking about right now. Okay? This is the most common question type in IELTS, the opinion essay. How do you know that this is an opinion essay? We know it from the last question here. Ms. Sarah, can you read this question again?
Okay. It's important to ensure
that just this part.
Okay. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Yes. So we have a topic here. Okay. Whether children should mix with each other at school or not. And the question tells you to decide your own opinion, whether you agree or disagree, right? Let me ask you a question now. Based on our understanding of this question, are you going to mention the advantages and disadvantages of having mixed schools? Are you going to talk about the advantages or disadvantages, and disadvantages?
Firstly, I will say my opinion if I agree
Very
or
good.
not.
In the introduction, you have to do that. Yes.
Okay. After that, if I agree, I say why I am agree with this opinion, or if I disagree, I say why.
Very good. Let's imagine that you disagree. Okay, that you disagree with this opinion. Are you going to mention why it is good or not? Why it is good to mix children?
Yes.
Why is good? No. I will talking about negative things.
Yes, you disagree. So you will just talk about the negative parts. Why? Because this is an opinion essay. So something that you should never forget about opinion essays is that you have to stick to your own opinion. You have to support your opinion throughout the essay. If you disagree, then you're going to focus on the disadvantages, not on the advantages. If you agree, you will talk about the advantages, not the disadvantages. This is very important to understand. In an opinion essay, you have one side, you have one perspective, you have one point of view. You support one idea. You cannot support opposite ideas. Okay? We do this, we do support opposite ideas, but not in opinion essays, in something that we call discussion essays that we're going to see right now. Okay? But let's agree from the very beginning that in opinion essays, you have to support your opinion. All right, if you're going to write an opinion essay, how are you going to organize the essay? This is the plan that you have. You have 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is the introduction. what are you going to do in the introduction? If you watch the recorded video that I shared with you, you're going to paraphrase this part. Paraphrase means what? Huh? What is a paraphrase?
Synonyms.
Change the word.
Yes. Huh? Rewrite. Okay. Using different language, using your own words. Fine? Okay. Sorry?
Not copying and pasting.
Excellent. Yes, you cannot copy. You cannot copy. Okay. So you're going to paraphrase and you have to state your opinion. In an opinion essay, then it makes sense that you have to state your opinion in the introduction. Then in body 1, you give reasons why you agree or disagree, including supporting arguments, evidence, and examples. Okay? In body paragraph 2, you give further reasons, means more reasons why you agree or disagree, including supporting arguments, evidence, and examples. So you will find that both body paragraphs 1 and 2 actually support the same point of view, which is your opinion. Then in the conclusion, you're going to restate your position. To restate your position? What does it mean?
ان انا agree ولا disagree احدد.
Again, yes, you restate means you say it again because this is the conclusion. So like at the end, this is what I want to say. You are going to repeat what you already mentioned in the introduction. But again, you have to use different language. Don't copy the same sentence as it is from the introduction. And you may summarize the main reasons from the previous 2 paragraphs, from the body paragraphs. You may just say very quickly, very briefly, because of so and so, because of 1 and 2. You mention, you summarize. Okay, you may summarize the 2 paragraphs in just 1 sentence. This is how an opinion essay should be written. This is, of course, not a session about opinion essay. We are just taking very quickly the different types of essay questions. Type number 2 is discussion essays. Discussion essays. Mr. Ahmed, could you please read the question here? Mr. Ahmed? I think you have a, yes, now you can speak.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yes.
Some people think that a sense of competition in children should be encouraged. Others believe that children who are told to be cooperate rather than compete become more useful adults. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion.
Can you read the last sentence again?
Discuss both these views and give your own opinion.
Okay. Does this part ask you only to give your opinion like the previous question type?
No. He's asking me to write the advantages and disadvantages of this part of this topic and give my opinion. Do I agree or disagree?
So we have 2 views, we have 2 opposites, we have 2 different points of view, and your job is not to choose one and talk about it and throw the other one in the basket. No, your job is to discuss both. Let's imagine, and this is hard to imagine, okay, that here in this question, he didn't ask me about whether I agree or disagree. Let's imagine that I have the same topic, and here instead of this, he said, discuss both views. What are you going to do with this question?
So in paragraph 1, I'm going to write the advantages of this topic. And
yes, and in paragraph 2,
I'm going to write the disadvantages of this topic, the other side.
Very good. So in 1 paragraph, I'm going to talk about the benefits of mixing students at schools. And on the other paragraph, I'm going to write the opposite point of view. I'm going to write why or the negative aspects of mixing children at school. So in this case, I will be objective. Objective means that I am not the person, this is not my opinion. No, I'm saying some people say that mixing children is better because they say 1, 2, 3. And other people say that it is negative, it is bad, it is wrong to mix children at school because they believe 1, 2, and 3. So this is not my opinion. I'm just discussing both views. But the question says discuss both views and
your own opinion.
Give your own opinion. So you will say, for example, some people say this, some people say that. My opinion is so and so and so. Some people say this is side A. Some people say that this is side B. My own opinion can be A or B, or it can be C. It can be a completely different opinion. It can be a balance of both. Okay, so for example, in the previous question, maybe I will talk about why some people think mixing is better and why some people think mixing is wrong. If my opinion is that it's better, I'm going to mention this as well. If my opinion is that it's wrong, I'm going to mention this as well. But I might have a third opinion. I might say, for example, I believe that mixing children is better in primary schools, but it's wrong to do that in high schools. This is a different opinion, a different point of view. This is not A or B. I'm just coming up with a third solution, okay? Just like this question here. Always imagine there is A and B, X and Y, side A, side B. Two different points of view. What are the two different points of view here? Some people think a sense of competition in children should be encouraged. Others believe that children who are taught to cooperate rather than compete. This is A and this is B. These are two different points of view. Become more useful adults. Discuss both and give your own opinion. In such a question, I'll write the introduction and I'm going to mention my opinion in the introduction. I'm going to move on to body paragraph 1, in which I should support A. Body paragraph 2, which is the third paragraph, I'm going to support B. And maybe in the conclusion, I can give my opinion and make a summary of what I said before. So far we talked about two types of essay questions. The third type, which is a very easy one, is advantages and disadvantages essays. Let me go back again here. So we are done with opinion essays and discussion essays, which is discuss both views and give your own opinion. Now we're going to move on to this one, advantages and disadvantages. Normally, there is one of these two questions. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Or do you think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Outweigh means we have more advantages than disadvantages or not. You have to mention your opinion, okay? Let's take a sample of an advantages and disadvantages essay. Dr. Alia, hello?
Hello, Doctor.
Can you read this question, please?
Solar energy is becoming more and more popular as a source of household energy in many countries around the world. Why is this? What are the advantages and disadvantages of solar energy?
So what does this question exactly ask you to do?
What are the advantages and disadvantages?
Yes, so very simply and very logically speaking, I will write the introduction. The introduction has the same steps regardless of the essay type. So we will write the introduction to that question. After the introduction, we're going to write the first body paragraph, in which I'm going to talk about what? The advantages. Then The second body paragraph, huh?
Disadvantages.
Disadvantages. And in the conclusion, I'm going to summarize the main points. And maybe this is optional. I can give a comment. I can give an opinion if I'd like to, but it's not a must. But I mean, when you have an advantages and disadvantages essay, it's very easy to outline, very easy to organize. Introduction, conclusion, and in the middle 2 body paragraphs. What about the advantages and what about the disadvantages? Let me ask you a question. In this question, does the question ask you to state your opinion?
No.
No. However, in this one, it does. When I say, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? My answer should be what?
Yes.
Yes or no. This is your opinion, right?
Yeah.
So in advantages and disadvantages essays, we have 2 versions. We have 2 possibilities. The first possibility is that he gives me the question of what are the advantages and disadvantages. Here, you forget about yourself. You put yourself apart and you just be objective and talk about both without mentioning your opinion. But if the question is, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, then in this case, you have to mention your own opinion. You will mention, yes.
And isn't it close to be like discussion? I'm gonna mention the advantages.
Exactly. It is very close to that. Yes. Okay.
Especially in the second part, I mentioned my.
But I mean,
do the advantages overweigh the disadvantages? So I supposed to add my opinion in the introduction as well. The same like.
Yes. Look, we're gonna come. There is one complete session about each of these essay types. This is just the introduction. I'm just introducing you to the different types that you might see. Okay, so we're done also with this part. Okay, so now.
معلش يا استاذ احمد، معلش انا بعتذر جدا والله. بس انا يعني دخلت متاخر تقريبا تلت ساعه. هو اللي انا فهمته ان احنا دلوقتي خدنا 3 انواع، تمام كده؟
ايوه مظبوط.
الادفانتج اند ديس ادفانتج ده انا نوعين انا بدي فيه رايي في واحد، والثاني اللي هو لو هو طلب مني رايي فانا بديه، تمام
طيب
كده؟
خليني الخص بسرعه. ماشي. احنا دلوقتي بنتكلم على ال5 انواع الاسئله اللي ممكن اقابلهم في الامتحان. تمام؟ الاكثر شيوعا هو الاولاني خالص اللي هو الاوبينيون اساي دوت. تمام؟ الثاني اكثر شيوعا بعده الدسكشن اساي. وبعدين بيجي لنا الادفانتجز اند ديسادفانتجز. بعمل ايه في الادفانتجز اند ديسادفانتجز؟ هو بيقول لي قول لي المزايا والعيوب، يبقى انا لازم اعمل ايه؟ اقول له المزايا ايه والعيوب ايه. انما في صياغه سؤال بتختلف. يعني اللي فوق غير اللي تحت. اللي فوق بيقول لي بس قول لي مزايا والعيوب. What are the advantages and disadvantages؟ هل طلب مني ان انا ابدي رايي في الموضوع؟
لا، هو ما طلبش مني اي راي خالص.
تمام. انما في الثاني لما يجي يقول لي ايه؟ Do you think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages؟ هل تعتقد ان المزايا اكتر من العيوب؟ يبقى انا هنا اعمل ايه؟
لازم ادي رايي طبعا.
بالظبط كده. فده اللي انا عاوز اقوله، ان هنا حسب ايه؟ حسب صياغه السؤال هحدد ان انا هقول رايي ولا لا. لكن في الحالتين لازم هيكون في باراجراف عن المزايا وباراجراف عن العيوب. ادي التو بادي باراجرافز اللي عندي. تمام؟ لكن الفرق الوحيد ان لما بتيجي الصياغه الثانيه ديت بقوم انا حاطط بقى رايي، مش مجرد ان انا بسرد المزايا والعيوب وخلاص. ماشي؟
تمام. اول نوعين انا بدي فيهم كده رايي.
طبعا
الاوبينيون والدسكشن.
بالظبط كده. خلي بالكم يا جماعه تاني، الجزء اللي احنا بنعمله دلوقتي ده مجرد مقدمه. في محاضره كامله على كل نوع من دول. تاني، في محاضره كامله على كل نوع من دول. انا بس دلوقتي بعمل ايه؟ بفتح عينيكم للانواع سريعا كده. تمام؟ طيب نمبر 4 عندي بقى ايه؟ causes or problems and solutions. اللي هي cause and effect essay or problem and solution essay. يعني ايه cause and effect or problem and solution؟ اسباب ونتائج او مشكلات وحلول لمشكله معينه. تمام؟ صياغه السؤال بتبقى ايه؟ ممكن كده what are the causes, what are the effects, what problems does مش عارف ايه cause, what are some possible solutions for مش عارف ايه، وهكذا. ناخد مثال زي ده. Alcohol abuse is becoming more and more common nowadays in many countries. What are some of the problems associated with alcohol abuse? And what are some possible solutions? هنا عندي كم سؤال؟
Two questions.
Two questions. Body paragraph 1 هكون بجاوب فيه السؤال الأولاني اللي هو problems. وبادي paragraph 2 هيكون بجاوب فيه السؤال الثاني اللي هو الايه؟
Solutions.
طب الانترودكشن والكونكلوجن زي ما اتفقنا الانترودكشن والكونكلوجن ما لهمش علاقه بنوع السؤال. هو الانترودكشن ثابته في كل انواع الاسئله زي ما موجوده في المحاضره المسجله، لكن انا هعيدها بسرعه برضه النهارده. تمام؟ ادي كده النوع الرابع. النوع الخامس وده يعني مش بيجي كتير اسمه two part question. يعني ايه two part question؟ يعني هو ولا واحد من الاربعه اللي فاتوا، لكن هو سؤال فيه سؤالين جواه. زي ايه؟ زي ده. Let me get back to Miss Sarah Fahmi. Hello. Miss Sarah?
Yes.
Can you please read the question again? Read this question.
Learning. Okay. Just a question?
Yes.
Okay. In your opinion.
لا يعني من أول.
من أول فوق. طيب.
من أول
okay.
فوق.
Learning English at school is often seen as more important than learning local language. If these are not taught, many are at risk of dying out. In your opinion, is it important for everyone to learn English? Should we try to ensure the survival of local language, and if so, how?
طيب هل ده هنا في advantages أو disadvantages أو problems و solutions أو كده؟
لا.
هل بيقول لي discuss both views مثلا؟ هل في two views وأنا المفروض أعمل لهم discussion؟ هل في topic معين والمفروض إن أنا أقول رأيي وأقول ليه؟ في رأي طبعا هيتقال. تمام؟ لكن this is not the only question. يعني في السؤال الأولاني in your opinion is it important for everyone to learn English؟ يبقى أنا طبعا هجاوب على السؤال دوت
في باراجراف 1
في بادي باراجراف 1. الله ينور عليك. بادي باراجراف 2 هعمل فيه ايه بقى؟ اجاوب على السؤال الثاني اللي هو ايه؟ Should we try to ensure the survival of local languages؟ ولا لا؟ لو او لا في الحالتين هتكتب لي ليه. تمام؟ لكن لو كمان تقول لي how can I ensure the survival of local languages؟
طب ما انا لو ما when I say yes or no it's my opinion too.
اكيد انا متفق معاكي جدا، بس انا قصدي هو على بعضه كده، هل هو opinion essay على موضوع واحد ولا هو مقسمه لي لاجزاء؟
لا اجزاء.
بقسمه لاجزاء ايا كان بقى حسب صياغه السؤال. مش شرط صياغه السؤال في الامتحان يجي لك فيها in your opinion. فاهماني؟ يعني ممكن يكون سؤال عادي، انما الفكره ان نوع السؤال دوت اسمه two part question. يعني ايه two part question؟
ما بيجيش الحمد لله يا دكتور، ما بيجيش.
هو حتى لو جه هو مش صعب يعني انت لو هنا التقسيمه بقسمها ازاي؟ الانترودكشن زيها زي اصحابها اللي فاتوا، بارافريز واوتلاين. خلاص. بادي باراجراف 1 بيقول لي ايه؟ give reasons why English is important اللي هو السؤال الاولاني. تمام؟ بادي باراجراف 2 why local languages should also be protected او اللي هي should survive او should not be protected لو انت عندك الرأي المخالف. تمام؟ وفي الكونكلوجن بيقول لي هنا ايه؟ restate your opinion on both questions and summarize the main reasons and if relevant suggestions. يعني ايه؟ ولخص الاسباب الرئيسيه، ولو انت حابب حط مقترحات اوكي، وان كنت انا ما بحبش كده، انا احب الكونكلوجن تكون حاجه صغيره كده. طيب احنا كده خدنا الانواع الخمسه اللي ممكن يجوا لنا في الامتحان. opinion, discussion, advantages, disadvantages, problems and solutions, two-part questions. طيب السؤال اللي قد يكون أهم بقى. What types of topics should I expect؟ يعني في امتحان الايلتس التوبكس اللي هتجيلها تبقى ايه؟ توبكس عامة أي حد يقدر يكتب فيها. يعني يجي question about something related to education, sports, health, family and society, crime, technology, media. أي حد فينا لازم يكون ملم بالدومينز دي أو بالمواضيع دي. لو أنا ما فهمش كتير عن التكنولوجي وكده يبقى أنا محتاج أقرأ كام essay عن التكنولوجي. لو ما بعرفش أتكلم في الهيلث كتير محتاج أقرأ كام essay عن الهيلث علشان يبقى عندي enough ideas to include when I have any question. دي كده التوبكس الايه الطبيعيه اللي بتجيلنا في امتحان الايلتس. دي كانت
طب حضرتك
المقدمه.
في الفيديو كنت عامل لهم هوم وورك كده زي ان هم يتكلموا على موضوع الكحول. انا ما عرفتش اكتب
ايوه
اي حاجه
انا
في موضوع الكحول ده.
احنا لسه ما تطرقناش للجزئيه دي لسه. ده نوع من الانواع اللي احنا لسه هنتكلم فيه اللي هو البروبلم اند سولوشن. تمام. فما تقلقيش we're gonna discuss this part. يعني don't worry about this. أنا بس كده خلصت الجزء الأولاني من السيشن اللي هو I was introducing what is an essay and what are the different essay questions that you might find in an IELTS exam. Do you have any question about this part so far? Is there anything that is not clear?
No, it's okay.
أكيد.
Yes.
طيب احنا let me stop the recording now for this part.